Hi, my name is Melissa Dowland, and I'm the coordinator of teacher education for the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences. We're producing a short series of videos to give you some helpful tips for getting outside and enjoying the natural world during this time of self-isolation. This video is going to be about observing nature, getting outside and using all of your senses to take a look at what's going on in the world around you. This is an activity modified from the Beetles Project, which is a group from the Lawrence Hall of Science and the University of California in Berkeley. So I want to say thanks to them for these materials. So we're going to talk a little bit about observation. Sometimes we just say go out and observe, and a lot of times that doesn't mean a whole lot to people. They don't know exactly what to do. Sometimes I don't know what to do. So we're going to talk a little bit more about observation as a skill, because it's actually something that can be taught and something that it's good to practice. We're going to do this, the first of this, through some sensory activities to get you paying attention to all your different senses, except maybe taste, as we spend this time outdoors. And to get us started, I have a quote to share. This is from Maria Montessori, and she said, "We cannot create observers by saying observe, but by giving them the power and the means for this observation. And these means are procured through education of the senses." And so right now we're going to work on educating our senses. I encourage you to take this video outside and use it as you're out there as a tool to help you better observe the world around you. Feel free to pause it whenever you need to, or just walk through each little activity as we go. So to start out, we are going to work on awakening our sense of hearing. So the first thing I want you to do is go ahead and close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, hold up one finger for each different sound that you hear. Now, with your eyes still closed, focus in on each sound that you hear. What do you notice about each sound? Is it high or low? Is it long or short? Is it one sound, or is it a combination of sounds? Next, with your eyes still closed, try something called the ear of the musician. Listen to the sounds together as if they were a piece of music. Listen to how they blend, any patterns that form between sounds. Notice the beauty of all of the sounds together, like a piece of music. Finally, go ahead and open your eyes, and I want to show you a little technique called deer ears. This is where you put your hands behind your ears like a deer does in the wild, and as you move your head around, you'll find that you actually can sharpen your hearing in the direction that your head is pointing. If you want to focus in on one sound, this can be a great tool. Okay, that's our sense of hearing. Next, we're going to focus on our sense of smell. So, close your eyes again, keep them closed, because again, it's easy for us to pay attention to what we see if we have our eyes open. So for your sense of smell, take in a deep breath. Do you smell anything in the air? Can you notice the humidity of the air or the temperature just by smelling? Check out the smell of some nearby objects. Pick something up off the ground near you and take a sniff. Sometimes if you crush it up, you'll get a better scent off it. And since we're not going to do taste, one way to get a little hint of what something tastes like is if you actually open your mouth while you're breathing in through your nose. Now, it's kind of challenging and sometimes makes me snort, so please excuse if I make a weird sound, but you go like that, and sometimes you get a little hint of what something might taste like. And that's always a better idea than actually popping it in your mouth. All right. Now that's our sense of smell. The next one we're going to work on is our sense of touch. So first of all, again, with your eyes closed, notice what you feel in your feet, in your legs, in your arms, in your head. What does the air feel like against your skin? If the sun is out, can you actually tell where the sun is by the feel of it on your skin? How does the air feel in your nostrils as you breathe? How does the ground feel beneath your feet? Is it soft or is it hard? Squishy? Crunchy? All right, now open your eyes, if you don't already have them open, and pick up something, again, nearby. And with that object, observe everything that you can through your sense of touch. Again, it's best to do this with your eyes closed, so you ignore those visual cues. Sometimes it's good to try to actually see what that feels like on a different part of your body, like your arm or your face, or your sense of touch is even more sensitive. Now choose a very different object from around you and do the same thing. Compare the two. How are they similar? How are they different? Observe everything you can through your sense of touch. All right, last but not least, we're gonna work on our sense of sight. Okay, so first of all, focus on just the colors around you. How many different shades of green do you see? I'm filming this in early spring, and there's so many different greens right now. How many different shades of brown or blue in the sky? Next, try looking and taking the color out of the equation entirely, just focusing on the world around you as if it were a black and white image. Where are the highlights and the shadows? Where's the darkest place that you can see? Where's the brightest spot? Another strategy is something called owl eyes or splatter vision. And for that, what you want to do is kind of look out on the little distance that you have in front of you maybe, and soften your gaze so that you're not focusing on anything. It's kind of like letting your eyes go blurry almost. When you do that, you'll often notice movement. And if you do, focus in on that real quickly and take a look at what it is. And then soften your eyes again and look around until you see the next thing move. This skill really plays on our ability as humans to sense what is happening around us, what danger there might be, but also, in our day and age, just to notice more. I hope you've enjoyed all of these sensory activities. I encourage you to follow up by getting your nature journal out and spending some time observing the world around you and recording the different things you see and hear and smell and touch. Thanks for watching.